NEM value expectation January 2026. The expense of NEM sort of is expected to arrive at in any event of worth of 017 in 2026. In a sort of huge manner, the ZEM cost could show up at a generally lovely outrageous in every practical sense worth of 019. With the ordinary trading cost of 018 all through 2026, which by and large is very huge. NEM value expectation February 2026. The expense of NEM is expected to explicitly reach at a lot of the least truly worth of 018 in 2026. The ZEM cost could basically show up at a biggest extremely worth of 020. With the run-of-the-mill trading cost of 019 all through 2026. In a significant manner ZEM value gauge fundamentally walk 2026, in especially walk 2026. The expense of NEM is assessed to basically be at around a base worth of 019. The NEM esteem kind of worth can show up at a constraint of 020 with the normal trading genuinely worth of 020 and UST, which truly is genuinely huge. NEM ZEM value conjecture April 2026. For April, the expense of NEM truly is expected to show up at a run-of-the-mill month-to-month farthest reaches of 020, while the coin will trade between a restriction of 021 and at particularly the least 019. Which in a real sense is very huge. NEM value forecast May 2026. The expense of NEM is expected to fundamentally reach at the actual kind of minimal kind of worth of 020 in 2026. In a genuinely enormous manner, the ZEM cost could by and large show up at a biggest pretty worth of 022. With the regular trading cost of 021 all through 2026. In a sort of huge manner. NEM ZEM value expectation June 2026. Concerning June 2026 NEM cost by and large is figured to essentially show up at a most diminished possible level of 020 in an especially significant manner. The ZEM cost could explicitly show up at a most genuinely outrageous possible level of 023. With the common check cost of 021 or so, they thought NEM ZEM value gauge July 2026. For July, the expense of NEM is expected to truly show up at an ordinary month-to-month uttermost in a real sense scopes of 022, while the coin will trade between a constraint of 024 and at especially the least 021. Which really is very huge. NEM value estimate August 2026. The especially ordinary expense of NEM ZEM could essentially go to 022. Toward August's end incredibly ZEM could be trading around a generally lovely outrageous worth of 024. With the base expected cost of 022 lovely. In spite of mainstream thinking. NEM value expectation September 2026. The expense of NEM fundamentally is expected to arrive at anyway all aims and purposes worth of 022 in 2026, which essentially is very huge. The ZEM cost could for the most part show up at a generally truly outrageous truly worth of 026, with the ordinary trading cost of 023. All through 2026 NEM ZEM value figure October 2026. For October, the expense of NEM in a real sense is expected to generally show up at a normal month-to-month outright farthest, most certainly reaches of 024, while the coin will trade between a constraint of 026 and something like 023. NEM value conjecture November 2026. The typical expense of NEM ZEM could especially go to 024 toward November's end. ZEM could generally be trading around a generally truly outrageous essentially worth of 027, with the base expected cost of 023. Which most certainly is genuinely critical. NEM value estimate December 2026. The typical expense of NEM ZEM could go to 025 toward December's end. ZEM could generally be trading around a biggest certainly worth of 029. With the base expected cost of 024 within the latest 1 month. The expense of ZEM lessened by 2184, killing a staggering most certainly ordinary measure of 0001 from its continuous worth, which basically is genuinely huge. This surprising down suggests that the coin generally is in plunge at the really present time, suggesting that it will in general be a respectable buy, a significant entryway for expedient hypothesis. The 90 days cost change in a real sense is close 6180, and the expense flowed from a base ordinary expense of 012 to most noteworthy truly typical expense of 014 in the past 90 days, in an unpretentious way. NEM basically is someplace close 6233. with the best regular expense of the coin was around 0.14 and the base common worth of most certainly was around 0.12 in past 4 months. Amazingly, NEM value gauge 2026 facts. What will basically be NEM really worth in 2026, which certainly is very huge. The ZEM cost is gauged to generally show up at a biggest level of 0.29, with outright smallest expense of 0.24, close to the completion of 2026, extremely in opposition to mainstream thinking. Does NEM have a future? To the extent that worth NEM for the most part has an outstanding in every practical sense potential to really show up at new levels, which in every practical sense is genuinely huge. It is figured that ZEM will augment in regard in an unpretentious way. According to express-trained professionals and business examiners, NEM can generally rock the boat in and out of town cost of 179 till 2030, which most certainly is very critical. Is NEM worth buying in 2026? In a significant manner, NEM's most certainly worth should continue to develop, as need will and most certainly broad help cost rise, or so they in every way that really matters. Thought compassionately note there truly is a bet to any endeavor. Just put assets into what you can especially accomplish before arriving at any goals, and direct the best assessment possible in a genuinely significant manner. NEM value forecast January 2027. The expense of NEM generally is expected to arrive at in any event of 0.24 in 2027. The ZEM cost could fundamentally show up at a generally in every way that really matters outrageous extremely worth of 0.27, with the run-of-the-mill trading cost of 0.26 all through 2027 or so. They basically thought NEM's M value figure February 2027 for February. The expense of NEM really is expected to show up at a commonplace month to month in a real sense. The uttermost in a real sense compasses of 0.27. While the coin will trade between a constraint of 0.28 and something like 0.26 especially, as opposed to mainstream thinking. NEM's M value expectation really walk 2027, concerning in every practical sense. Walk 2027 NEM cost generally is guessed to show up at a most decreased possible level of 0.26 or so. They thought the ZEM cost could truly show up at a most by and large outrageous possible level of 0.29, with the ordinary gauge cost of 0.27. As opposed to mainstream thinking. NEM's M value figure April 2027 for April. The expense of NEM especially is expected to really show up at a regular month to month. Certainly the uttermost for the most part reaches of 0.28, while the coin will trade between a restriction of 0.30 and no less than 0.27. Incredibly, NEM value estimate, May 2027, the truly typical expense of NEM's M could go to 0.29, close to the completion of May and in every way that really matters significant ways. M could essentially be trading around a generally sort of outrageous, especially worth of 0.32. With the base expected cost of 0.27, in a very significant manner. ZEM value figure June 2027.